For 5,000 years, Egypt has produced a continuous, living legacy. But housing the scale of that legacy reached a breaking point. Since 1902, the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square held these antiquities. As the collection swelled past 100,000 pieces, the building simply ran out of room, leaving priceless ancient statues cramped together in overcrowded hallways. The congestion caused active harm. Priceless organic materials like ancient wood and delicate textiles were decaying. Thousands of artifacts had to be sealed away in dark storage basements, entirely hidden from the public for a century. To solve this, Egypt had to engineer a $1 billion cultural ecosystem capable of rescuing human heritage from deteriorating into dust. Enter the Grand Egyptian Museum, spanning 500,000 square meters, roughly the size of 70 soccer fields. It is the largest archaeological museum on Earth, dedicated entirely to a single civilization. The building sits on the end of the desert plateau, deliberately placed 2 kilometers away from the Great Pyramids. This top-down architectural map shows how the museum's translucent, geometric facade is mathematically aligned. The visual axes project directly from the building's angular walls to the peaks of the 3 Giza Pyramids. It operates as a highly calculated architectural bridge, physically locking modern Cairo to antiquity. You enter the complex by walking underneath the world's first suspended obelisk. Looking straight up, you can see a pharaoh's cartouche carved into the base, a detail hidden for millennia that immediately shifts your physical perspective. Inside the soaring grand atrium, you are met by an 83-ton red granite statue of Ramses the Great. For decades, this exact monument stood in the center of a heavily pyramidic circle, surrounded by commercial high-rises and thick exhaust fumes. In 2018, engineers executed a massive logistical operation to transport the 3,200-year-old monolith to the Giza Plateau, bringing him here before the museum's walls were even built. Constructing the museum around its greatest protector turns the building itself into an act of spatial reverence. From the atrium, the building channels you to its central nervous system, the grand staircase, serving as both a physical pathway and a historical timeline. This cross-section graph demonstrates how ascending the gallery explicitly mirrors traveling through time. The path moves from the Old Kingdom at the bottom to the Ptolemaic period at the top. As you climb past the statues, you track how artistic styles, deity associations, and cultures shift. Flanking these public pathways are glass-walled conservation labs. Inside, you can watch experts using 3D scanners to preserve ancient artifacts in real time. The museum functions as an active, living laboratory. The past is physically maintained and decoded while you walk right through the middle of it. At the absolute pinnacle of the physical ascent, you enter the 7,500 square meter Tutankhamun galleries. When Howard Carter opened the tomb in 1922, the treasures were packed tightly together. Over the following century, those artifacts were scattered across different exhibits or boxed away in storage. Now, all 5,398 artifacts from the boy king's tomb are reunited under one roof. The golden funerary mask is finally displayed in its complete context, resting alongside his original chariots, his personal belongings, and his inner coffins. By gathering every scattered piece of a single life into one space, the curation reconstructs a complete human story, fulfilling the ancient Egyptian promise of immortality. Reaching the absolute top of the grand staircase delivers the building's final architectural climax. Massive, floor-to-ceiling glass windows perfectly frame the Great Pyramids of Giza outside. The interior sightlines naturally direct your eye to the monuments outside, locking the indoor antiquities to the exact geographic landscape where they originated. Here, the Grand Egyptian Museum presents history as a continuous, monumental journey that we step into, anchored by the eternal horizon of the Giza Plateau.